Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so meaningful to be together. You know, we often take a step forward and a side step, and then every once in a while a step backward. But hopefully it's all for the sake of ultimately moving forward. As I often say, when the children of Israel crossed the Sea of Reeds, it wasn't the end of their journey. They still had the desert to cross after that. And that's how we are now. We cross a sea, we cross a desert, we have more journeys and more journeys to go on. And so while our sanctuary at Temple Akiba is dark tonight, we fill this space with so much love and with so much light. We welcome you, whether you're here on Zoom or via YouTube, to this holy space. For those who are newer to our community, my name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro. I am the rabbi of Temple Akiba of Culver City. Our cantor, Lonnie Freilich, is taking a night off tonight, a very well-deserved night off, but we are joined by two extraordinary people, our cantorial intern, Liz Baseman, as well as our head song leader, Andrew Pascal. And our service tonight is a journey. We need all of you to journey with us. Because of the limitations with Zoom, we can't hear your voices, but we can see your bodies moving. And so when there are songs that you really want to participate in a way that we can feel your presence, let's see your bodies moving. Let's see the joy emanating from your souls. So we're going to begin with some music. Andrew, I give it to you to introduce what we're going to be singing.
We're going to start with a little Hine Matov. We are welcoming everyone into our community. We are grateful that we get to see all of your faces online, even if we can't be in person. This is Rick Recht's version of Hine Matov. Hine Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad 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 Hine Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
How wonderful it is to be here together as a community. We're going to continue with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. A lot of our theme for tonight's service harnesses light, as we'll see a little bit later on as we share a story for this particular Shabbat. For now, I offer this reading. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this holy space in need, and all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We're going to ask for all who are able to please rise for our Kiddush. Cantor Liz, please take it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemase v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. L'chaim.
L'chaim. We move into our Kabbalat Shabbat service. We are singing a new song unto God, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. I will sing unto God, all the earth a new song, all the earth a new song unto God. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along, all the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Shir Chadash. Shir Chadash. We move into the welcoming of Shabbat L'Chadodi. Even though we are not in a sanctuary to welcome the Shabbat bride together, we are on Zoom. We can spiritually believe that we are standing and welcoming a bride as if we are at a wedding. And so when we come to our last paragraph, our last stanza of L'Chadodi, I invite you to stand up if you're able to. If not, that's okay. We are all in mind together as we sing Josh Warshawski's version of L'Chadodi. Yeah. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmiyanu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad le'shem u'tiferet v'litila L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat kavila. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavila. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha sof machase b'machashavat tehila. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. I invite you to rise if you are able. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzala. Tochemunei am segula boi chala boi chala. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. I'll turn things over to Liz.
As we take in the light, as we join together in community, as we welcome the Sabbath bride and each other, we take a moment to transition into our prayer by praising God with the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו Amen.
As we transition into our Ma'ariv, the next part of our service, we ask ourselves if we are ready, if we are prepared, if we are truly in the right mind to get ready for the Shema, the Amidah, the prayers that we have to say every day. And as we do the Baruch Hu, I invite all of you to think inside, am I prepared? Am I ready? This version by Craig Taubman invites you to echo my melody as I sing the beginning of this prayer. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Lie with me. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. As we transition to our Shema, our prayer that, honestly, if we boil down Judaism into one prayer, we might say that it would be the Shema. 6 words. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. And we get to say that we are all one. Adonai Echad. If Adonai is everything and we are a part of that, then we are all one. So I invite you all to cover your eyes with your whole hand or make a shin with your fingers as we sing the Shema together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We continue with the Ve'ahavta, how we express our oneness, express the love of God after the oneness of the Shema, this expression of love from us to God. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We move into our Micha Mocha, our song for redemption, a song for freedom. What a time to be alive right now, being grateful for the freedom that we have to live even when other people are hurting and not able to leave their homes because of quarantines or other things. We can still live in our homes. We get to be alive and we get to be free people. So we move into Micha Mocha, a prayer for redemption. Lai 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar ba'kodesh, nora tehiloto seifele, nora tehiloto seifele. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
With the awareness that we are free to be who we are in this moment, no matter where we are, what space we are in, we are together to pray together the Amidah, starting with our connection to our ancestors. And throughout the years that the Jewish people have said this prayer, we maintain this beautiful connection. Please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid techilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chastei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevi geula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an shemo be'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. When God began to create the world, the very first thing that God said was, Yehi Or, let there be light. And there was light. Imagine for a moment that very first element that God gifted to the world, that element of light. Our sages teach us that the very same light that God created on that first day of creation, that very same light descended through the generations and came to Noah when he was on the ark, and there was a little light, a window at the top of the ark, and through that window came a little tiny bit of that light. That light that Noah experienced was the same light as the world experienced on the first day of creation. Generations went by. We now have Moses, who appears at the burning bush, this bush that was on fire yet was not being consumed. Our sages teach us that that very same burning bush, that light that emanated from the bush, was the same light as the light from creation and the same light that Noah experienced on the ark. If we take that same light and come to this week's Torah portion, which includes the last of the 10 plagues, we learn that Egypt experienced a plague of darkness. But even though Egypt was in darkness, our Torah teaches, Israel enjoyed light. How, our sages ask, is it possible for two nations intertwined with one another? How could one be in the darkness and one be in light? Our sages remind us that we're not talking about physical light. None of this is about physical light. The light from that first day of creation, the light that Noah experienced, the light that Moses saw, none of these were physical lights. They were all spiritual lights. And the light that Israel enjoyed during that plague of darkness was the light of God, the light of goodness, and the light of soul. We continue to harness that very same light. Every Friday when we kindle our candles, it's not about the physical light we're bringing into the world. It's that spiritual essence. It's God's divine soul print in each of us that we have the opportunity to take out into the world. Every time someone like Danelle Fisher, who is here, Dr. Fisher, every time she stands on the front line helping someone to heal through her practice, she is one of those lights of God. Any time each of us steps in to make another human being a better person through our light, anytime we help them out, we are being that light from the first day of creation. Friends, once again, our world is entering that plague of darkness. Our world is entering that plague. We go into it and out of it. But we don't need to live in darkness. We can harness that light and we can nurture it and we can emit it and give it to other people so that they can live with hope and with vision and with goodness. May we all be that light unto the nations through our example of goodness and our embodiment of peace. As we enter our moment of silent prayer, everyone, please take a moment to think about light that you saw over this past week. Harness that light and ask yourself this question: how will I nurture that light so that next week I can make someone else's life just a little bit better? We pray silently.
Thank you, Rabbi, for your words of wisdom. I was thinking about the light that I had this week at the virtual Cantors Convention that was going to be in person but was changed to online last minute for the reasons that you all are aware of. And I want to continue the knowledge that I gained from that, and I'm happy to share with all of you as we move into our song for peace, our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon Lecho hashalom, ki atahu melech adon. Lecho hashalom, shalom rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol eit uvechol sha'ah Bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam, tasim leolam.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for that beautiful prayer of peace. I think we can all use that. Friends, we want to offer a prayer of healing as this virus continues to be part of our lives. All of us at this point know someone who has been directly affected. Many of us in this space have been directly affected. And so we offer this prayer, this Mishaberach, for healing, and also this prayer for strength for the caregivers and the doctors, other people who are in the healthcare industry, that you always have the strength and the perseverance and the wisdom that is so very much needed. We offer the Mishaberach for all people of the world who could use an extra embrace of peace and of goodness. As Andrew offers this prayer, we ask for those of you who are here via Zoom or YouTube to share names in the chat box of those that you are thinking of who could use healing at this time.
Mishaberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Thank you, Andrew. As this is the first Shabbat of the month of January, we honor all of you who are celebrating special life moments. And so we're going to ask you to imagine yourselves standing on the bima at Temple Akiba. And I'm going to share right now all of those who are having birthdays, as well as those who are celebrating anniversaries during the month of January. So the first few, the Alpferbergs, Lars Horno, Tova Larson, and Susan Moser, all of you have a birthday on January 1st. That's a pretty awesome day to have a birthday. We also celebrate Caitlin Dubois, Daniel Horowitz, Elliot Silverstein, Ari Casado, Mariana Weinzimmer, Robert Fleischman, Chloe Cunin, Owen Velarde, Rick Tuttle, Judy Friedman, Robin Kupferman, Jonathan Mendel, Jonathan Varsano, Hendrix Arnold Kirk, Vivian Horowitz, Michael Simmons, Alicia Walker, David Weinzimmer, Toby Milovsky, Lauren White, Negan Kamali, Gina Pruitz, Sandra Rudnick, Stephanie Schreiber, Michael Bauer, Myrna Caton, Aaron Cayetano, Daniel Glauberg, Ella Rahmanian, Michael Hudson Sr., Neil Teplin, Herman Barnathan, Aaron Hart, Alana Malleus, Stevie Masangale, Maya Peled, Joshua Pruitz, Andrea Shanin, Dove Weissman, Laura Cunin, Andrew Lackman, Yadid Ramot, Matthew Cohen, Courtney Edson, Alexa Weinzimmer, Gemma Bloom, Joyce Simmons, Renat Sabatovsky, Sarah Wexler, Louise Feinberg, Nathan Hoggett, Eva Huber, Janie Magoulis, Lauren Saunders, Tesla Shanin, Elena Goffney, Bobby Swerdlow, Jessica Hazelton, Sebastian Masangale, Zachary Andrews, Mandana Nagy, Kevin Scher, Sophie Ben Aharon, Mark Blackberg, Marissa Finkelstein, Kate Schwartz, Roz Larson, Stephen Zimmelman, Liam Jelinek Lipson, Devin Goffney, Avi Cantor Bender, Gerald Salas, and Alex Tevlin. Happy birthday to all of you. How extraordinary to celebrate during this month of January. We also have anniversaries. You'll notice there are fewer anniversaries in January because who gets married in January, right? Well, some of you do, and that's awesome because you're bringing light into a dark time of year. So we celebrate, let's see, hold on, here we go. The Alpferbergs, the Ben Harosh family, the Price family, the Bronson Wexler family, the Hazelton family, the Cohen family, the Wexlers, Jack and Adele, the Sullivan family, the Schwartz family, and the Young family. May you all, whether you're celebrating an anniversary or a birthday, may this day be filled, this month be filled with joy. Thank you for bringing your light into our space. We become better people through you. And for those of you who are here, if you're celebrating another important life moment, whether it is a retirement or moving homes or a bar bat mitzvah, any kind of life moment that you're celebrating, again, you bring us such goodness. And it's because of your participation and partnership with us at Temple Akiba that our light truly does shine brighter together. And so we offer the blessing of Shehechianu, thanking God for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to be right here, right now.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu vekimanu vehigianu b'zman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
Amen. It's now an honor and a privilege to welcome to our Zoom screen, representing our board of directors, my friend and a mentor in so many ways, Andrew Lackman. Andrew, Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, actually, you're my mentor, but thank you for saying that. It's appreciated. And I'm proud to be joining my fellow board member, Herman, who's also celebrating a birthday this month. So happy birthday to you. On behalf of the board of directors, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone to Temple Akiba for the first Shabbat service of the year. If there's anyone who's never been to one of our services before, we'd like to have you introduce yourself if you're here. We're excuse me, always delighted to have new folks here and find out about the wonderful Akiba community. Are there any new people here tonight? I'm also looking in the chat to see if anyone says anything. Okay. Well, if they are, we'll be sure to recognize you. And I also want to thank, by the way, Cantor Andrew and Cantor Liz for your wonderful music and participating in the services. Every time I come here, you all sound better and better every single time. And so it's just a pleasure to have you here. We have a couple of events coming up, and we're not going to let the fact that we may not be able to be in person and that may be delayed, but it doesn't stop us from being a community. So we're not letting that get us in the way, get in the way. So we have a couple of events coming up that will be by Zoom. We have the upcoming Tu B'Shvat Seder coming up next week. We have also coming up as well, starting, excuse me, sorry, just winter allergies always get to me here. We also have a number of other Zoom events coming up this week, including Torah study. Starts again tomorrow via Zoom, and Lunch and Learn starts again on Monday via Lunch and Learn starts on Monday via Zoom. You'll also be getting some information. I'm going to make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. Mishloach Manot is coming up, giving of gift baskets, and you'll be getting that information shortly as well. So again, thank you to everyone and for coming and for remaining as a community, even as it looks like for a little while we're going to be contracting, but everything will get better soon. And thank you, Rabbi Zach, for everything you're doing as well. And I'll hand it back over to you.
Andrew, thank you so much once again. We so appreciate your leadership on our board of directors. Thank you also to Carol Diamond, who has been working so much behind the scenes to help us do what we do. She has been our Zoom master since this pandemic began. As of a couple of weeks ago, she thought she would be able to quietly phase out of this, but you know, things happen. So Carol, we're very glad that you are continuing to volunteer in this way. We really appreciate what you and Ira bring to us. It's quite extraordinary. Our worship now continues with the Aleinu, and I believe cantorial intern Liz is leading.
That's right. As we join together for the Aleinu, I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we take on the mantle Aleinu. It is upon us to bring this light that we find in ourselves and to bring it forward and to share it with the community and the world around us. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Dear friends, 1 year ago this week, our nation experienced an incredible time of darkness. What happened on January 6th at the Capitol was unthinkable and horrifying. And the deaths that occurred on that day can never be forgotten. What our country has endured was a challenge to our democracy. But we move on because we are a country of light. And as a Jewish community, we do everything we can to find that light, even, especially, in moments of darkness. I offer this reading before our mourner's Kaddish as a memory to what happened on that day. Remember our people who suffered and died so that we could be free and secure. May their memory be more than a distant shadow. For their dreams left unfulfilled and lives taken too soon, we remember. Remember our brothers and sisters whose sacrifice kept the dream of democracy and justice alive. May their courage be our inspiration and strength. For life cut short and vision unrealized, we remember. Remember the fallen of our armed services, the victims of terror and tragedy. May the darkness of their loss not obscure the light of peace. They were in love with our land and in love with life. For the agony, the tears, the mothers and the fathers, for the children who were and the children yet to be, we remember. At this time, of course, we also remember those from our own community who have died, who continue to shine upon us from their eternal resting spaces. We begin with those for whom we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, including Michael Shepard, Sarah Minchus, Pearl Fuchs Schechter, Sydney Marshall, and Mickey Bubis. If there are additional names of those for whom you are in Shloshim that I did not mention, please share those in the chat box. We continue with the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths that occur on this Shabbat, beginning with those who have plaques in our Sue and Jerry Erfrig Memorial Room. Sarah Alper, Gussie Bashane, Maurice Belzer, Harriet Fagan, Meyer Frimkes, Dorothy Gold, Abraham Kimmelman, Emil Abraham Kirsch, Ronald Needle, Yetta Raftenberg, Jack Schaefer, Vicky Sriro, Cherry Sweetelson, Norma Valensky, Irving Zeidman. We add to their names and also remember, and as I share these names, if there are people who are here who are observing a yard site whose names may not be with our list, please add them to our chat box. Elliot Balanoff, Lee Brody, Frank Kahn, Bess Chappie, Bertha Chernus, Jacob Edberg, Arthur Eisenberg, Howard Fleischman, Rabbi Alan Freeling, David Gursky, Neil Gutman, Milton Hebald, Betty Jacobs, Nathan Jaffa, Sid Jurin, Stanley Kachulis, Louise Kapolsky, Victor Kreisel, Michael Krenicki, Stephen Leibovitz, Shirley Levine, Rose Levy, Samuel Marshall, Rebecca Miller, Esther Minchis, Celia Moreno, Molly Musicant, Gary Nyman, Esther Pearl, Richard Portnoy, Evelyn Ross, Mary Sensiper, Hyman Shapiro, Molly Tract, Paulina Wolfman, Yaakov Wolfman, Ernest Walter, Charles Weinstein, Kenneth Woolsey, Evelyn Young, Louis Zelaya. May all of their names that we shared out loud, as well as those names that continue to rest on your souls, may they guide us with light and with goodness. We ask for all who are able to please rise for our Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah B'yalma divrach rotei v'yal milch malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Bagalau v'yizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam u'almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudasha barichu Le'elam min kol birchata b'shirata Tushbachata v'nechamata Damiran b'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Useh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yoshvei Tevel v'imru Amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Please be seated, everyone. Andrew, do you have a closing song for us?
I do. It's funny you were just talking about making peace for all of us, and why don't we end with that little message of peace as we move into our Shabbat of wholeness, of completion. Oh, say shalom. Imromav. Oh, say shalom. Imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you, Andrew Lackman. Thank you to all who are here. One final blessing we have, and that is the motzi. This is a little remnant of the challah that little Maya and little Eli made with our own little hands at our own ECC earlier today. And I'm kind of a beneficiary because they each got to make a challah, so we get twice the challahs at home for a Friday night. Let's please join together in the motzi. Cantor, Lintern, Liz, can you lead us, please?
Absolutely. We reach out our hands to touch the challah that Rabbi is holding to join us together in community. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As our days begin to get longer with light, may your souls bring in continued light as well. Amen. Shabbat